Utah, give me 2.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Pallazzo podcast. It's me. It's 2 mics, actually. Mike versus Mike going head-to-head on a Pallazzo Pals edition of the show where we talk for 45 minutes or so about stuff and fantasy baseball. But this would be a unique episode, I think. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome in SB Streamer, who is a veteran of many fantasy wars. He's seen it all. He's done it all. We've met in real life once. That was last fall at First Pitch, Arizona, which was a great experience. I really had a good time there. And you guys were staying across the street at an Airbnb from the hotel, and I went over there once, and Curlin talked a lot, and
oh, yes, he did. A lot's an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, Curlin, if you've never spent time with Curlin in real life, he will talk your ear off. What you hear on podcasts and see on video, that's who he is. He's got a lot to say.
Yes, he does. He's very, very entertaining, I'll say that.
Damn right he is. Yeah, he's got a lot of
quality. Talk to
That's a great quality.
Yeah, I wish I could be like that, but I can't.
Well, I mean, we've all got our traits, and we know what we do best, and some of us are loud, like me, and others of us are very thoughtful and analytical, like yourself. And I mean, you've turned SB Streamer into a really, really legitimate brand, basically all by yourself. I mean, not you've had help, you say, but like not with the help of a big time entity like a CBS or an ESPN or something. And it's all been built by the blood, sweat, and tears of you and everybody who worked there. And you got to be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I am. It was 4 years worth of work, so it definitely was a long road. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm proud of it.
So I asked Mike to come on. He had posted his big manifesto this week, and I thought it was very thoughtful and insightful. And if you have not read it or you're curious about what we're talking about, you can go to his Twitter handle at SB Streamer, and you can read that, because when someone takes their time, you hear it or you see it on Twitter, some personal news. That's a pretty common thread that you see on here, and you never know where exactly it's going to go. And Michael's didn't surprise me, because I felt like I hadn't seen a lot of you or felt your presence as much this year. It seemed like I hadn't read many of your tweets or something like that. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it felt like, oh, where's Simeone? I don't really seem like I'm getting enough of him on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that are put into that, but yeah, I mean, I basically just put out that, I'm ending SP Streamer, which is a hard decision, but basically, so, I mean, I've talked about it before in past posts and stuff, but I have Crohn's disease, which is an autoimmune deficiency type of thing. And so when I was younger, so I got it when I was like 16. And when I first got it, I was hospitalized for 2 weeks and then got out. And then I was fine until, I want to say, like maybe eight years ago. So like,
wow.
When I was fine for like, I want to say I was fine for like about almost another 8 years. And then I got hospitalized again. And then I've been fine ever since, without any like flare-ups, they call them. So like I basically didn't see any kinds of signs of me getting sick or anything. And then I had about a week, so I want to say a month or two ago, where there was a week where I got sick, and I thought it was, it seemed like it was my Crohn's acting up, which obviously worried me, because then I may have to be hospitalized again if like things didn't work out.
Yeah.
But luckily it was kind of, I don't know. We don't really know if it was it or not. Basically, I just like upped one of my medications. I was fine. But it was a scare. So I will say, so after that happened, I was like sitting at this desk I'm at right now, and I was doing my baseball stuff on like a Saturday morning, and it kind of like just hit me, and I was like, I love doing this, but I am doing way too much. And like, if my health went down the tubes again, like I would regret not spending this time with like the people in my life, like my wife and my family. If I wasn't spending more time with them. So I was kind of just had like that moment where I was sitting here and I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, why am I like, I can totally still just write and that's it. And that's what I really like anyway. Instead of doing all this other back end stuff and running writers and editing and like just never ending. Um, so yeah, so I came to the decision to basically end it. And I'm gonna still do content, but it's just gonna be like daily articles. But just like simple, like that's it. I'm not gonna have to worry about anything else. And yeah, so I came to that decision because of that. Plus, sorry, I'm rambling here, but plus my
No,
wife.
you're the guest on the show. You're supposed to talk. It's fine. So.
My wife is finally starting a new job and working at a hospital. So like her hours are going to be like all random. So there'll be nights where she's not home and blah, blah, blah. So like anytime I can have time with her because of her crazy schedule is going to be like time that I need to be with her. So that will also limit me from, doing what I've done previously. So yeah, so it was a mixture of that and the little health scare I had that made me really come to this decision.
Did you consider, or were you approached with offers to buy like the SB Streamer name?
One person did, but I told him I'm not selling it. So it doesn't matter.
So you're gonna hang on to it, like it's.
Well, no, I mean, anyone can make it. I mean, the domain's gonna expire eventually. But
okay.
Yeah, no, someone wanted to like kind of buy the brand and just kind of have me there, but I'm not willing to do that. Unless you want to offer me like $100,000, then sure.
Hey,
but,
you listening? Yeah. ESPN, CBS, anybody? RotoWire. What are you guys doing? Come on now.
But no, no, I won't do that. Lives and dies with me.
I love it. I love it, man. You're taking control of your own story. And that's what I dig, man. I dig people like Michael Simeone who tells it like it is. And you can still follow him on SP Streamer on Twitter. That won't go away, right? You'll still be around once in a while.
My handle will still stay.
Yeah. You'll always be here. Even when you're not there, you'll be here in spirit. Yeah, Anthony, you're late. Well, you are late. He says Anthony's always late. It's a running gag on the show, but I'm glad he's here. My girlfriend's sister has Crohn's, and she's done a ton of work with Crohn's, and gratefully, she appears to be healed. It looks the doctors gave her a clean bill of health about a year and a half ago, so
nice.
It's amazing. And we did a fundraiser in 2019. It was called the Gutsy Dinner, and everybody shows up who can eat a bunch of crap, who doesn't have Crohn's, to support people with Crohn's. So that was fun. Cool. And Leanne did a ton of work with that. She was the MC, and she wore her yellow professional blazer, and she looked all very, very professional, and she really put a lot of time and energy into Crohn's to help her sister for years and years. So I commend anybody.
That was the best thing that happened from my message. Was I had a lot of people reach out to me who also has the disease, that and UC, ulcerative colitis. And I did not know. Like, you never know. Not everyone's open about their things. And
sure, a
lot of people were in my DMs, messaging me, telling me about what they've been through and offering advice and vice versa. So that was really cool to see.
Hell yeah. I can relate to that. When you share things that you're going through, we're unique, but we're not unique. We're all similar. There's tons of people just like us going through the things we've gone through, and you connect with those people. And sometimes it means a lot when you open up the doors. And there's a lot of people who are talking about Crohn's, raising money for Crohn's. That's a good thing, but there's still more people who feel like maybe they don't even know they have it too. Maybe some people reach out like, hey, how do I know if I have Crohn's or something like that? That could be the case as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's some baseball players like Jake Diekman. He has it, and he has a what's it called? He has a what do I call it? He has like a company. I'm trying to say the word here.
Like a nonprofit, a charity.
Yeah, a charity. Thank you. He has a charity called Gut It Out. Which he also has. He has the tattoo. He has that tattooed on him. And so he has that charity. And someone else came out saying they were sick last season with it, and everyone was surprised. I can't remember who it was. I'll have to try and find it. because he had a really good season. People were like, "Oh, Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins has it."
Oh shit! Oh, okay, Cedric Mullins. All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, there it is. Yep, gut it out. Our mission is to connect patients and caregivers through education and inspiration in order to strengthen relationships and resources within the IBD community. Way to go, Jake Diekman. I'm proud of you. I'm glad to know that about you. He's not a great closer, but he's an incredible human being. So, and that's okay. You know, I'm not a very good closer. Yeah. I mean, if someone said I was a great human being and I sucked as a baseball player, I'll take it. I would.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely would. So the other part of this too is having that revelation. You know, I know a lot of people get burned out in the business, and you know, some people have told me like, it's gonna come, dude. You're gonna get burned out. Now I don't have kids. I don't have a family. It's just me and Leanne. So there is always gonna be a certain amount of time and day that's never gonna change. And the more responsibilities you have, the less time you'll be able to have for certain things, and the priority levels will change. So I think it's inevitable for everybody. You're going to have a priority decision to make at some point. And if people who grind, which everybody knows, if you don't know, if you just watch and play and you're someone who is an observer of this business, a lot of people, they don't get paid much, and it can take its toll eventually. And you make a decision to say, hey, you know what? This is fun, but I got more important things to do, like spend time with my kids and my family, go to roller coaster theme parks and have a good time and stuff like that. So I respect you talking openly and honestly about that. And I guess you just never know when that moment's going to come. And it came for you. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would have came eventually too, like when I started having kids, which, you know, I'm hoping to do within, you know, next year, later next year or something. And I feel like, especially when that was coming to, like, if I had a kid, I would want to be with my child, you know. I would think as much as possible, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like you said, everyone comes to that crossroads, and I think it really just comes down to, are you trying to do this for a living or are you not? Because if you are, then okay, I could see you being all in 24/7 all the time. If you're not, then, you know, you gotta, you know, kind of realize your priorities and decide what you want to do there. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think everyone kind of, you know, has to make that decision eventually, depending on how involved you are. Some people always just stay casual from the start, which is more than fine as well. But yeah, for those people who like really get into it for a while, yeah.
It's like Too Short said, get in where you fit in, you know. It's real simple. And I know that everybody will make this decision. It's very common because I've been here for 3 years now, and I notice it all the time. People tell me, yeah, people come and go, and you'll never know what happened to them. They'll just kind of disappear. And I'm like, oh, really? I make so many friends here, and then they're just going to disappear. I hope that that doesn't happen with you, which I'm sure it won't. I know you'll always be around once in a while. And do you think you'll ever go to a live event like FPAS anymore or anything like that, or is that going to be a thing of the past?
Oh, 100%. I won't be there this year because another part of all this too is I'm actually starting a business, and yeah, with a partner. So a lot of my time is going to be put into that. And like recently, I felt bad. I was supposed to be on Justin's Pallazzo, but something popped up with that, so I had to cancel on him. I had to cancel on a Nick Pollock thing a couple weeks ago, which I felt bad for. So yeah, so it's already getting in the way too, as well. But no, so I can't be there this year, but I'm hoping next year I'll be there. I 100% will go. Again, you'll see me on Twitter every day.
Yeah,
I'll be still tweeting every day or whatever, and because I'm still going to be doing prep for fantasy baseball, you know, and I do still enjoy doing the whole streamer thing, the reason why I made the account. So that will always happen too. Again, it's just I needed to take away all of the back end crap. Because it just takes way too much time.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I tried that once. I get it. Reading Challenge says, one of the great guys in the industry. Love the content you have put out and the knowledge you've shared, Michael. So that's all for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Reading Challenge. I know you try. Was anybody sad? They're like, oh man, like people that write for you and stuff like that?
So my biggest fear was telling my Discord chat and my writers, because I didn't know if anyone would be angry or if anyone would be, so upset. More so for the Discord. I mean, my, the SP streamer members. I was afraid some people would be angry, but I told all of them, like, everyone basically paid for the year to end at the season anyway. So like, I was like, I'm still going to do everything till the end of the year. And then that's when it's going to stop. So like, you're still going to get your money's worth. Yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of people were sad in terms of members because I was, you don't realize what you have or what you're doing and how much it impacts people until something like this happens. Because as much as we try to, and I think it's a big lesson, I actually learned this in the past, and I've kind of talked about it too, is, when you read someone's article or you listen to their podcast, I know, like, even as big as they are, it's really good to let people know that you read their article or that you're listening to them, because you don't realize how many people actually do, or how many people actually take your advice until, like, when I posted this, I had no idea. And a million people reached out to me, and I was like surprised, because, like, I mean, I see the article views, but like, I tweet out an article every day, and like, it doesn't get that much, that many likes or comments or whatever. And then all of a sudden, all these people are like, yeah, I read your stuff every day. It's kind of surprising. So with the Discord chat, everyone was like, this is my favorite community. Like, I belong to other ones. Like, it does suck that it's leaving, but, I'm glad you made this decision. I can't blame you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the writers were the same way. Some of them I'm really close with, and they've, said to me, like, they want to continue being friends. One actually wanted to call me and had a phone conversation with me.
Someone want to call? Oh my God. A phone conversation?
Yes.
Crazy.
So yeah, the response has been really good. I didn't get anyone angry. I did get people who were sad, but also understood. So that was good to see. I didn't know if I got any backlash or not. I mean, I guess if there is, people probably just say it behind my back, and I'll never know. So, but whatever.
Right now, people are saying terrible things about you behind your back. It's awful. No, I learned a similar lesson when earlier this month I posted that video trying to look for more work to promote myself and spread the word. Dude, I know exactly how you felt. It reminded me, like, whoa, there is a tremendous amount of connections you make that you don't necessarily realize. Everything you just said is true. And it's not about our egos. It's not about, hey, look at me. It's just simply a reminder, if in fact a positive reminder, about the outreach and the connection that you've developed if you put yourself out there consistently. And you have 3 times as many followers as me, so it probably blew up even more just because the numbers are just bigger and more people know who you are, and they're going to tell you that, and they should tell you that. They just don't tell us that every day. So it is refreshing, and I think you make a good point about that. Tell people you like their work more frequently. Just say, hey, love the article. That's it. You don't have to say anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And like, that'll let people know that people are actually, I made it a point. I didn't do it this year, but again, I had a lot of stuff going on. But I remember last season, I made a point to try and at least once a week, one, point out someone's work, and 2, try and comment on someone's work to just let them know that, I read it, and, I liked it, whatever, just because you never know. Like, it's a million people, but everyone can kind of be silent at times. And I think it's just really good to tell people, what's going on.
Yeah. Not everybody has a monster ego in this business, even if it looks like they do on the surface. And when you tell someone else, like, hey, I like that, it's a big bump. It means a lot. Mm-hmm. It really does. And we take that for granted. Like, oh, I'll speak from personal point of view that, oh man, nobody cares what I think. I mean, not entirely. Like, they appreciate my analysis or my thoughts on certain issues, but I don't need to go out and tell everybody, hey, this is what I think of you and what you've done, and I'm a big deal, and let me tell you why. But it isn't about that. It's about me just giving a few moments of my time and letting people know that, hey, I really enjoyed what you wrote. I enjoyed that video. That podcast was great, and here's why. And it bumps people up. And the amount of people that have talked to me in private about the positivity and the upbeat nature of most of my stuff surprised me, because I've had such a cynical viewpoint in my lifetime, and it's really helped me embrace that side of myself more when I didn't even mean to do that. So I just think there's actually a lot of benefits to Twitter and social media sometimes, and people don't realize that. It can happen. It can happen. Patrick says he bought your pitching draft kit in 2020, and it was great. Thank you, Michael. Patrick,
nice. That was a lot, yeah.
Remember this, Drew says, after hearing you discuss it, I do wish my father, Michael Simeone, would take me to roller coaster theme parks if that's on the table.
Yeah, it depends on the roller coasters. I have to say I have a fear of heights, so certain ones I'm a little weary of. But sure,
So
let's
do
do it.
I was just talking about this yesterday because a friend of ours went to Cedar Point. You ever heard of Cedar Point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big theme park in Ohio. It's got monster roller coasters, and I'm terrified of heights, but I got on those things. Once you get off it, you're like, that was cool, but going up could be intense. I will admit that.
Yeah, the last time I went to a roller coaster or a theme park was like when I was 18. So I don't know how I would react now. Like maybe I'd be more willing to just say screw it, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe you'd have heart failure. Who knows? So
I hope not.
You're so old. I always thought about like, what is the point you're too old to go on roller coasters? I'm not sure if there's a doctor's orders point that comes into play, but I still think I could do it. I'd
say like 60.
Yeah, okay, 60. Cool. Well, then I got time. John Wilder says Michael is a solid fantasy player, solid analyst, but an even better person. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you, John.
That is nice. Thank you.
People are coming out the woodwork for you. Jeez. Okay, so we've covered this. We've talked about it enough. I think I asked everything I wanted to ask. You've been very forthright and open, and he's not dying. He's not going away necessarily. He's just changing his lifestyle in a way. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that your new business venture goes well
Thank
well.
You. Thank you.
And I have to ask you about San Diego Comic-Con. It happened last week. Did you enjoy it? Did you stream it? Did you check in on that stuff? Because I know you're into that stuff.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to live stream anything. But I saw every video there is to see about it and all the announcements and all that stuff. My dream is to go to it one day. I'll get there eventually. In college, me and my friends used to go to the New York City one every year. But San Diego is on a different level. So it'd be cool to get to that eventually.
It's the standard. It's the gold bearer, the one that everybody wants to go to, the mecca of comic book nerddom at its finest, I think. But now it's beyond that. It's about movies and so much more. Everything. And it's a huge event. So I figured
anything that's like considered like nerdy is basically there. Like
yeah, except fantasy baseball. I don't think they have that there, which
that's
is
definitely not there.
Yeah, very nerdy though. It is. I mean, let's not fool around. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We like talking about numbers, which can be pretty boring sometimes for other people. Speaking of fantasy baseball, the trade deadline's coming up, and I'm wondering, anybody you have your eye on that you think will get traded with a 99% certainty, because we can't do 100%, but a pretty close to certainty guarantee. This person is on the move, and it can't be Wilson Contreras. It can't be Wilson Contreras. It's got to be somebody else.
I was going to say the Mets 100% are going after him, I think. I mean, they have to.
Someone's getting up for sure. Yeah.
We knew Benintendi was going to get traded, so he goes to the Yankees. I think Castillo is going to get moved. I feel like at this point, some contender is going to go after him hard. I don't know who.
Atlanta. I've heard Atlanta, maybe.
I think the Yankees are linked to him as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some Mets fans have said that, but we don't. I think that's stupid. We need to approach the bullpen more, and I think we're going to try and get Robertson plus Contreras and a package, and that'll be that.
Do you really think the Mets can win the World Series this year?
I'm a Mets fan, so no.
No.
No, realistically, I think they do have the team to definitely get there. And there have been a lot of moments this season where I'm like, okay, this team seems a little different than the previous years where they just collapsed and everything. I think they have good pitching depth, which really helps. Again, they need to do something for the bullpen. If we get good bullpen help, then I think they have a legit shot at it. It's just going to be really hard to get past the Dodgers still, I think.
Dodgers always choke in the playoffs. Don't worry about it.
Yes, but they make it to the World Series, though. So
they do get they get there fairly often. Not every year, though. Joe says, where's your nerds drop from Revenge of the Nerds, Govier? Stop slacking. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's been a lot of drops this show, Joe. That's my bad. I guess I got caught. What do I got on? Got anything here? No, I don't think I have anything good. I'm sorry. Let you down. I got this.
He was a sucker, man.
You're a sucker. That's all I got. Sorry. I didn't come prepared for this one. I got this one.
Hey, what is going on here?
Mr. Building. Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
I was like, wait, where's that from? And I was like,
Mr. Building. That's the best. This is one more Saved by the Bell. This is a classic.
I'm so excited! I'm so excited!
There it is. Classic.
pretty serious episode, but
It's a very special episode of Saved by the Bell. A very powerful moment. My Tigers are terrible. Do you think, as an outsider, that Avila, the GM, do you think he's done a bad job as a GM, as an outsider, Avila, for the Tigers for the last 5 years or so?
I really liked what he did coming into the season. I think it just hasn't panned out, which you can't fully blame him for. I mean, everyone knew Baez is Baez, but I didn't expect him to be that bad. I mean, who knows? Watch him catch fire. But I like the Erod signing. They have the good young pitchers. I mean, Torque just hasn't panned out, but I feel like that's just all rookies except for Julio Rodriguez. I don't think he's bad necessarily. I liked what he did. I thought they were going to be a sneaky team coming in. Yeah, I mean, they got talent there. I still think that they have a good future. I'll say that.
Oh, well, see, this is what happens locally. This is how it is.
I'm sure everyone hates.
Yeah. Well, he's been here for a long time, too. It's not like he just got here. He's been the GM for a good 7 years now. And the rebuild was promised. Spencer doesn't work out right now, but he's still young. It's his first year.
Yeah.
So who cares about that? Baez is Baez, as you said. Eduardo Rodriguez disappearing for a while, that was really bizarre. That was one of the most underrated, bizarre stories of the season. He's returned. He's made contact. Apparently, he was in the movie Contact, and he went through that ball that went through that wormhole, and he's finally back. So that's why we didn't hear from him for a while. But I'm glad Eduardo will return. AJ Hinch is a good manager. I still believe that. So I think that's a refreshing take on your part. I like what I'm hearing from you. The thing is, though, how many leagues do you play in, and how many leagues are you hanging around in right now? I got to know. That's what I want to know about your fantasy profile this year. How's it going?
It's actually going good. I think I'm only out of maybe 2 leagues, and I don't even know. Hold on, I gotta look for you. I mean,
gotta be certain.
I have 3 home leagues. One of them I'm out of. The other 2 I'm basically like in playoffs right now if the season ended. NFC, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did like 11 NFBC leagues, and I'm in all of them except for, I would say, 2.
Nice. Okay.
I'm right there. Yeah, I'm like second in one, third, first, fifth, third, second, third. So I'm right there in a lot of them.
You're in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational, aren't you?
I'm not. I was last year.
Oh, last year.
Okay. And I won my league last year.
You did. That's why I remember.
Or maybe
that.
I came in second. No, I think I was winning, and I ended up just coming in second at the end, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a tragedy. That's a DC, by the way, for people that don't know. So
yes,
you like DCs? Grafton holes?
Yeah, my main. So last year I did all DC 50s except for yours, and then I did really well in those. I made money, and I was like, okay, let me stick with that. But then I wanted to stick with 12s, and I tried 2 OCs this year. So I did 6 50s, and then I did 2 OCs and OC qualifier. The qualifier I'm in third. One of the OCs I'm in second. The other one I'm in 10th, and I'm basically out of that one. That was one of the ones that I said I'm out of. So,
Do you find the challenge of 12 team versus 15 team being a difficult one, or is it just about remembering the roster priorities?
I think I just am good. I got so good at 50s because that's all I did for a few years, where like I wanted to stick to the format. I didn't want to mix it up really.
Yeah.
But I am finding that I think I'm decent at Fab, but I'm finding that I don't really like Fab. Like I'm not really enjoying it. I'll be honest with you. Like the online championship leagues, even if I end up winning this one, I don't know. It's
you don't like dealing with it?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just such a process. You know what I mean? And like, I just
not
like
consistent enough. Is it too much variables? Like I
just like the simplicity, I guess, of DCs where I don't have to worry. It's literally just making sure I'm setting the lineups and attacking certain categories. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's that maybe maybe I took on too many at a time. So I'm also in turf, which is also fab. Then I have TGFBI, which is also fab. So maybe I just did too many at once. But I don't know. I just really like DCs better. So I'm thinking of next year, maybe I'll just do 50s and regular DCs and maybe just tackle on both kinds and see how that works out. We'll see. I don't know.
There it is. The final ruling. The final ruling from Michael Simeone. Follow him on Twitter, SP Streamer, of course. I'm at MJ Govier. And the Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
You can find
Give me 2.
our free Discord at the top of that Twitter handle. It's pinned there. And if you want to take it even further, we got the Patreon. I just posted my Andrew Benintendi trade analysis breakdown. Not just about him, but about every player involved in that trade, including 3 single A pitchers from the Yankees that we're all just thrilled about. Can't wait for Beck Way. When Beck Way makes his debut for the Royals in a couple of years. You know, the funny thing about that trade is that a lot of people say the Royals are bad at developing pitching, and they took on 3 starters who are young starters who are going to need development. So it seems like a bad place to go if you're a pitcher. Do you concur with a lot of that? Because I think Brady Singer's a bulldog. I think
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I
good.
think Singer's they're doing okay with him, but yeah, I mean Lynch hasn't been good. Buich hasn't been good.
Coar's terrible.
Keller's been, Keller. Yeah, I mean it's just.
But pitching's a crapshoot, anyways. I mean, who knows more about pitching than you? Isn't that true? Always gonna be true.
A lot of people know more about pitching than me.
Okay, fine. But at least you know a fair amount. And when it comes to pitching, it's just going to be a lot of misses anyways. It's just more variables in play with injuries and the mechanics of being a pitcher and so forth, and going from maybe a reliever to a starter and maybe getting pulled around too much. It can mess up your career. So I just think we're a little too harsh on the Royals just because they've had a lot of big-name guys drafted highly over the last 5 years. And they're not done yet, though. They're not done.
Yeah, they're kind of a mess. I hate the Royals just because of what they did to the Mets in the World Series, but
okay, so there's a complete bias here. That's fine. Oh, don't forget angry. Asa Lacey, says Joe Hook. Yeah. Joe Hook says, or maybe forget Asa Lacey. Yeah, maybe. I actually drafted him on one of those DCs this year. I thought maybe he'd come up and be something.
Yeah,
but
I thought he would. I thought he'd make impact this year too, but apparently not.
That's the thing about DC. I think it's funny to go through people's DC rosters, these drafted holds, and see the players that they thought might come up and who are not going to come up this year, and they're just going to sit there all season and do nothing. I mean, just nothing.
In 50s, I basically refuse to take prospects.
Oh, really?
I just don't. I don't want to waste a roster spot. You need depth. That's how I attack my 50s. I make sure the way I do it too is I hit hitters really heavy early for bench, and then I just go like my last 10 to 12 picks is like just pitchers at the end. But yeah, so I go hitter heavy because I want to make sure I have guys who could step in when my hitters go down. And I think that's what has brought me a good amount of success, because pitching at the end is pretty much a crapshoot anyway. And I feel like there's more pitchers in the pool, and you get those crappy pitchers that you could just use in good situations and help you out. So I normally attack those hitters early, so I don't even have to worry about that. But anyway, so I don't really touch prospects, to be honest with you. I think maybe one, if that, I'll put in there, but I usually don't.
Okay, see, that's a good tip right there. I don't know if I'm going to play DCs anymore. I have the opposite opinion of you. I don't seem to thrive in that format, and maybe I shouldn't play every format. I don't have to be in all the formats.
I think it's good to start off that way, so you realize which one you're good at, and you could just focus on it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Learn a lesson, apply it, and then don't waste money. That's an important lesson for every fantasy player out there. Don't waste money. Sounds simple enough, but I think a lot of us still do it because we think we can do it all.
I know the main event and stuff can get you to become a name. But honestly, I don't care about that. I just want to make money. So whatever I'm good at, I'll stick with it.
I'm a moron. I see that elusive prize, and it seems like, hey, I mean, I can't be that much worse than any of these guys. I could be as good as Phil Dussault, can't I?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if any of us can be. But,
Well,
yeah.
you know, he can't win it every year either. I don't care how good he is, but it also takes. See, there's something interesting about the main event, Michael. There is a theory I'm working on, and I swear it's starting to get a lot of evidence to support it. That if you do your draft online as opposed to going to the in-person massive event there, you're going to get different competition, and you might not get put into a league like I got put into a league with so many people we know. You know, Jeff Zimmerman and Tanner Bell and Dustin McComas and Justin Mason and Scott Jedstad and Dalton Del Don, Paul Sporer. We got Emmett Ruland, who was a top 5 finisher last year. I mean, this thing is loaded. And then there's other online leagues where people have no fanfare. They don't know anything about it. It just happens. And I think there's people who are less intense about it, and you can really take advantage of what's going on in your individual league. It's really important. It is, because not every league is created equal, and it's not intentional. It's just how it ends up being, and that will end up being a luck variable, I guess, that will go your way.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I say, who cares? I just try and make money. Like I purposely, I do most of my DCs towards as right before the season starts, the DC 50s, and the big reason why is because literally none of the big guys are doing it at that time. Like some of them will like hop in, or like DC 150, 150, regular DCs. Like all the big guys will like come in and do that early on, like Phil Dussault. But later on, like when it's getting closer to season, they're focusing on main events. So like you could jump in a league then, and there's not going to be as good a competition, but who gives a crap? Win money.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Maybe I'm living in the past here. I got to move on. I got to move forward and start thinking with an open mind to the future.
You're living in the past, man.
Yeah, maybe I am. So, okay, a couple more questions. We'll close out the show here. Michael Simione, who's been gracious enough to give us his time, which is very minimal. This is a busy dude, so I do appreciate you being here.
You called me on an off day, so that's fine.
Yeah! Woo! Well, it all worked out, and I'm grateful for that. I really am. If I was to go to New Jersey, what's one fun thing I could really do there that maybe I'm not aware of?
I live in New York.
Yeah, but what if I went to New Jersey anyways? Come on, there's got to be one fun thing you could tell me there.
You've got a Giants game. New York Giants game.
There it is. Yep. Oh, boy.
I don't really go to Jersey. I mean, besides when I was younger, where you go to like Atlantic City. But otherwise, sorry if you're from there. Anyone's from there, but I hate that state.
Boy, that division really does exist, doesn't it? Man.
Oh, it 100% does. It's just crappier, and like I hate that. Like a lot of spots, you can't make left turns. It's like it's just I hate that place. There's just nothing
left
good there.
turns.
Like what is there to go to Jersey for?
I lived in Philadelphia. Well, yeah, I lived in Philly, and I went over there. I did some Ubering in the middle of the night when I crossed the old. God, was it the Ben Franklin Bridge? The George Washington? It's named after some president, I think. Anyways, it just looked like parts of Michigan to me when I went over to New Jersey. It looked pretty rural. And I think, I know there's some heavy industrial parts like Newark and that, but it was pretty just run-of-the-mill America when I went over on that part of Jersey, which is South Jersey and west of Atlantic City. It just looks like any other place in the country to me. There's an Applebee's. There's a couple restaurants, a bar. There are left turns available, but sometimes you got to go down the street and then turn around. So, yeah. We have Michigan lefts, by the way. That's what we call them. Where you can't turn left. You got to turn right, go down the street, and then do a turnaround to come back on the road. That's what we call a Michigan left. Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
It's really annoying. But when you grow up with it, it's kind of standard, I guess. But I can see I can see why you'd be pissed about that. I can. Annoying. Life could be challenging. If you had your druthers, what's the concert you would love to see? No limitations. You could just make it happen. I want to see this concert. Here it is.
I haven't been to many, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel like it's kind of an obvious choice in my opinion, but when he was alive, obviously I would love to have seen Queen with Freddie Mercury. Yeah. But I mean, does that count, or do they have to be alive?
Sure. No. There's no limitations. I wanted to see
how for some reason one of the first things popped in my head too was Linkin Park.
Chester Bennington. Yeah, rest in power.
Yeah.
That sucks. Man, he was a...
Yeah.
Yeah, Linkin Park got a strange rap. They were kind of lumped into the new metal people of the late 90s, early 2000s unfairly. And Chester Bennington had one of the most powerful voices I'd ever heard. You can't do what he does. Few people can do. I know there's some hardcore screamo and post-hardcore stuff. People scream their butts off, and they still can't quite do what Chester Bennington did to be in such good pitch as well. It was really a unique skill he had. Now, maybe I never saw him live. Maybe it was a lot of studio tricks, I guess. I don't know that for sure, but
I don't know.
seemed pretty authentic. And I think Linkin Park gets a bad rap from some people, because when I grew up, it was like associated with people that we didn't think were cool for some reason. And
Yeah, I don't think so.
it's just weird how these regions look at things and how bubbles of social circles look at certain groups and music and how it all melds together. And
Well, I think
it's just stupid.
That one song in the end, right? That was like so popular on the radios all the time too. So I think that probably helped their image as well. Like in terms of like being, I guess, like you said, more people being okay with liking them.
Yeah.
It did get a little mainstream at one point.
It's not even mainstream. It was like this, like, I don't even know how to put it without, I don't know, I'd probably get in trouble for like denigrating people who are just what do they call them? Tank tops. They wear tank tops and they drink too much. I don't even know who they were, but they were mean people where I grew up. I grew up in I grew up in Detroit on the weekends, and then I lived in the rural part of Michigan during the weekdays. So I would rotate between these two very different places. And I saw a lot of interesting stuff. So I guess I tried to make sense of it all when I was younger. But now I'm 41 years old. I don't care at all. It's just funny to look back at. It's been 20 years since Linkin Park was really big, and it's a good band. I think I like Linkin Park. And some people I grew up with might be like, dude, that's not cool, dude. I'd be like, well, I don't care what you think. Nothing matters. One day we will all be dead. I got breaking news for everybody. Everybody who's watching this, everybody who's listening to this, we're all going to die.
Very true. Very true.
There it is. I locked it in. Oh, what a great note to kind of wrap the show on. Truth Post says Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that'd be cool to see Led Zeppelin. Yeah. That would be awesome. Although there's a lot of great tribute bands out there these days, so you could almost get the same experience. Jason Bonham, son of John Bonham, the drummer, does his own tour where they play Zeppelin stuff. And I've never seen it, but I heard it's all right. So you got like the DNA of that person who was good. But so that's the end of the show here. Patrick's laughing. Good. Yes, we're all going to die, Patrick. I know you would like that one. Michael Simeone, I want to thank you for giving us some of your time. In all seriousness, we started off the show exactly how I wanted to. We covered the things I wanted to talk about. You were very open and honest, and that does mean something to me, and I appreciate that. And we had a few laughs and I think we mixed in a little bit of fantasy. This is not always the most fantasy-oriented show anyways, so who cares? What would you like to part with at this point? I mean, you're still doing your work here, so you want people to know about that? Or you want people to know about something new? Is there something else they should know these days?
No, I mean, just doing the same stuff basically till the end of the season. I did put in the post that, I mean, it's on the DL, but, I did reach out to some people I have been friends with in the fantasy baseball community, and we are going to kind of start a Patreon type thing for next season. Where basically I get to do just my, I only have to do my article that I want to do anyway, and in the morning, like that's it. And they are handling other areas and doing other things, and so that will be out there one day eventually. But yeah, it just I'm excited for my life to be a lot more simpler again, and I can enjoy my my wife and family more. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for you, my friend. Yeah, that's a great idea. We have a Patreon that we've been running. It's up for about 3 months, and we're making modest gains. We appreciate everybody who's been supportive of our Patreon. Thank you very much. It starts at $3 if you want to be a part of it. You can find that at the top of the Pallazzo Podcast Twitter handle, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
Pallazzo
Give me 2.
Podcast. And, of course, make sure you follow SB Streamer. Stay connected with him. Really cherish this season. This is the big finale. He'll always be around, but this is the big finale here. So make sure you tell him how much you've enjoyed his work. Really go out of your way to tell him, hey, man, you helped me win a title one year. And that means a lot to me. And I think That will be appreciated. So make sure everybody does that. Best of luck. Yep. Thank you, Patrick. Best of luck to Michael.
Okay.
And from myself, Christopher Deary, and the entire Pallazzo family, and the Discord, which is totally free, we thank Michael Simeone for being here. He's one of our Pallazzo pals. He'll always be a friend of mine. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you.